Mech base structure has given up on the PCs to begin with, but he still has them to provide some support, to provide a little bit of this action, as well as harassment. Yamada Cannon now will be able to take care of two Queen's Fusion there, trying to keep that one alive, and Paul able to take care of the Queen Brigade. Now this looks really dire here for Joypop, a big mistake allowing all those Queens to die in the first place. Roaches in the meantime surrounding these Hellions, no transformation into the Hellbat whatsoever as of yet. There you go, Joypop yet again winning the ground game with a solid surround. But what about the air? What about the things up into the skyline as 3 BCs flying on yet again? +1 here, and now 4 are Terran players as well, +1 vehicles, as well as that plating. Blue fire, so potent against so many things. Extra damage. And we have siege tanks in position as well. Creeping barrage might be the answer. A lot of corruptors in the air as well. And we'll see if the BCs can keep alive, because those Astropores are going to connect. But in the meantime, those siege tanks just cooking up the ground. And Joypop sure winning the air game this time, but the ground game completely obliterated here from our Blue Zerg. And Paul right now in a such solid spot, even though he is down on that upgrades. Good timing there from Joypop to actually go for it. Still not enough corruptors right now. Taking care of the orbital command. We'll be going for the corruption. Take this down as soon as it gets a quicker channel. It seems like the acid is enough. The SCB is backing on out as well. We'll be looking to transition into another base. An interesting positioning here is supply depots, providing so much cover here for Paul. Command center now going back out isn't just gonna be a factor here right now, because Paul unable to really use more than one base in this scenario. Factory now will go down. Wheeler's giving chase against the SCBs yet again. Missile turrets still fending those off. And that is a big mistake here enough from Joypop. He's trying to fight the missile turrets as much as possible, but he's hesitating. Not letting the corruptors get damage done first. Here we go with the repair already. And Joypop in a spot of trouble. He only has 6 of these mules flying on yet again. Corruption right here, right now, onto those MCs. Overall, the mule is now turning into 4. Ensure the corruptors can be a tanky target, but every single time, all can be cheeky with missile turrets. It might be the show. As close as can be yet again, it's another base race, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, though, Widow Mines might be the answer here and now. And where will the lock on go? Huge hits! Gonna be able to get some good DPS onto those corruptors already. Healers in the meantime going to the north-hand side. The refineries will be around. Thor is here and now. Finally, Paul given the opportunity to create something new and something beautiful. And this time, go for as much anti-air as possible. Healers don't need to stay alive. Will Paul turn things around? Finally finds the targets. We'll take care of one. Going for the second. The rockets connect. Does our friend Joypop have any way to deal with anything in the ground? That one roach might be a hero, but the corruptor is turning into mush. It's gonna be one of them going down yet again. It seems like Paul doesn't want to swap modes. Go for cannon shots. As soon as this corruptor falls, GG is called. It's gonna be the same composition, and Zealot Stalker versus Marine Immortal is a pretty even fight, honestly. That's the thing about it, and that's what makes it really worse for Ricky, because he's spending more and more minerals and gas for his units. In the meantime, Paul able to pretty much double in terms of that production. And the barracks, of course, can double pump 2 units, and as the reactor tech lab gonna be quicker as well to get those infantry on. Now it's starter step action after the charge, and since there's no impact damage, then there is no burst there, and then Paul able to run around in circles. GG is called. Paul will take the win. Not really surprised, honestly, because they can build, they can't attack, they cannot do anything else. But in that instance, you want to maximize all the minerals you can for a ballsy push like this, because he decides to put the engineering bay here. What the hell are we watching here from Paul? And why is this working? This is just basically a bunker creep on. He's playing Zerg with Terran by this point. The Immortals trying to shut this down, and it's going to be a focus fire onto one of the bunkers. Second one will happen there. Paul tries desperately to get this one up. The Marines have to back on out, but the siege tanks are still in position. And something like a map like this, look at those siege tanks right now. They're keeping an eye out. They're getting the range, and this bunker will actually go online. Probes are full, but I don't think this is the right time here for Pops, because there's bunkers still in behind the siege tanks right now, shooting each other, sure. But at the very least, there we have some Marines, and there we go with a wraparound win. The Zealot's not going to happen, though. Sure, Pop's going to lose a few units here and there. He's desperate to get rid of the siege tanks along the way. This Zealot is looking for a slice and dice. It doesn't matter. The Marines right now going inside the bunker again, and this game is going absolutely bonkers here on Pillars of Gold. There is no target at all. We are 18 minutes in, and anyone can afford to go into whatever the hell you want. And sure, he's going for these disruptors, and like you said, they're going to be effective against these immobile siege tanks. But it doesn't matter because these things can outrange the disruptors, and they're stuck there. Sure, 2 siege tanks will go down, but that's going to be the only blast there. And Paul right now going for the push bombs. In the meantime, is microing that disruptor. It will immediately die because it can't attack anything else. Sidestorm will be going online as well. And you think that if disruptors get a really big attack like High Templar, will it be OP? Because the only reason High Templar have attack now is when you go for the Able, they're not going to be stupid like the disruptors as we've seen. As the Dark Shrine is there, Bob's going to be able to try and go for the Focus yet again. Gets rid of the Hellbats, but his push pull, as we say, is on the advantage of the Terran. And please answer my question, is harassment happening all the way on the port base? BC's is going to be a plan here for Paul, but Extinct in the meantime, expecting something a little more on the thermal nature, will decide to go for the attack instead. The Roach is going to be out in front. He went for the Warren earlier on, and is early getting the surround on the supply depot, but here comes the pull. Paul going to be making sure that he can get repair on file right now into the back line, and that is going to be a number of SCPs torn apart. The opening has been breached, and it seems like this battle cruiser will be forced to go on the defensive. Supply depot is going to come on up. Paul going to leave the other one, and here comes more and more of these units. It's an open door right here, right now. That's what love is all about. But Paul gonna get that PC on. It's time for the reckoning yet again. Laser battery shooting on down, doing as much damage as possible. And this is going to be a hold here for Paul. The PC unmitigated, undamaged, will be able to get as much as he can. In the meantime though, Spore Crawler right here, right now. But if Paul decides to go to the attack warp already, he can actually get some value into this one. It seems like the Paul is respecting his opponent. He's like, oh, never mind, he's gonna go for Tactical Warp instead. I honestly thought that Paul was gonna be like, he probably has Spore Crawler ready, but no, he's still gonna go for his Queen, now gonna go down. He moves on over to the north-hand side, trying to get out of the way, and Extinct will call the GG. Paul with the victory. The BC works out against the Zerg this time. Carry on both sides, winning, both sides losing. The Infestor swing though, absolutely huge. Now here we go again with the Parasite, gonna get 3 siege tanks out in front. Scans don't keep on coming, and these Infestors, 11 HP, should be spinning up some Terrans instead to try and even things out. See, still no siege tanks all the way in the back. Reaping Barrage is the name of the game. So close here. The +2 Carapace. I was talking about the armor Carapace apps in integration. +2 only here for Karen, while Paul is +3, meaning that Paul having the 1 damage advantage with his critical mass of units, with all that splash damage as well. Pretty much a big factor into this game. Now these Zerglings trying to scout will get taken down. The Ravagers trying to push on forward, but Infestors have no real units to actually tank up the damage. And if Karen decides to walk into this, that's gonna be the shock cannon, turning these Infestors inside out. The hatchery now quite low already. The scan comes yet again. Paul is just on these scans, using the energy to a good degree. Finally, the Infested Terran toss, so the Infestors can come close, but they will all go down again. And Rakarion, he was in the lead earlier into this game, but losing those Infestors, losing out with the Spellcasters, not having enough energy against the Siege Tank composition. Just hurting his chances. High ground really playing to their namesake. The SCVs though idling, can't take gas anymore. And what can Paul do? He has a lot of gas but not much minerals. He is going for some more SCVs and a few Hellions along the way. At the same time, Rakara now heavy on the resources. 23 Roaches coming online. And Ephemeron LD, such a great battleground to see. The scan though finally catches out that Infestor. Here we go with this round, but will the scan actually go down? Can the missile turret see it? Oh my god, Paul so close, but no cigar. The Orbital Command taking damage as well. Eventually, it will start the flame on up. Speaking of the flame though, the starports just jetting on over up and top, using the building for the scouts. Just a heavy big investment here from Paul. Still though, Sim City being infested so constantly by his one Infestor. He's gotten so much value already, burning up this Orbital Command, forcing all those SCVs to position elsewhere. Even though there's not much resources, at least this is the main base being scouted constantly by Rakarion. Knowledge is power, guys, as the Hellion now deciding to go to the south side. Infested Terran gonna get burnt on down, but he still needs to find where this Infestor is truly. Now this is one of those points where you want to have that one starport just to build a Raven or two. Interviews Matrix for you, useful anti-armor as well, and the natural detector gonna be anyhow efficient. Still though, there we go with the scan, and the Carrion able to take control of the ground, forcing Paul to play a little safer all the way on the south quadrant. Paul and Titan extra damage here from the Raisin Brothers on the low ground. Then again though, Cramp still forcing things out on the normal mode of the siege tanks, not even bothering for this artillery instead. And while he's going to start step A move, the Raisin Brothers to bring in the damage instead. Vikings watching out from behind. There's the drop on down. It's gonna be extra damage on those mech units, and it seems like the siege tanks fall here, my friend. Malafate Cramp has been plucked up there and all sticking advantage.
Good plays after good plays on the side of Polka. The bad play there from Cramp was that Polka was forced up on that grab on the stairs, but it's not optimal for them to do. And Polka is completely capitalizing on that play. And sa akin ni Polka kay Fidel was always talking about because I was there back then was that the main philosophy and approach of Polka during phases was whoever controls the air controls the whole game. And we have seen that on that good plays after good plays from Polka.
That damage, the Cramp himself not even bothering to hold that siege, but because of the peskiness of the Ravens,
Yeah.
that was just a show. And the things I mentioned it there, mobility, it's absolutely super viable. Good movement so far from Paul, and even though he would just weather the storm of the missile turrets, right? It didn't really matter in the end because the skirmish force still able to make it through, get the workers, and be a distraction for a bigger base. Here we go again. Cramp, he has a million bases, but not enough workers here in now. But in fact, not good for the retreat. And look at this! Siege tanks! I don't know. What are you doing, siege tanks? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
You have been talking about it.
You know, I'm gonna miss Paul so much. What he has brought to the SE scene, what he has done for the community, and just how he innovated locally, showed that
Yeah.
playing the long game works out. And it's tragic what's happening, but then for everything he's done personally, and for all the games he's done, really his career in StarCraft 2, it will be missed, and it will not be forgotten.
And huge thanks to the community actually. The support and the outpour of the community actually. Like people posting old pictures with Polka and sharing their memories that supposedly died. It really surprised me, and I think actually the Polka is really thankful to the NC community. Nakikirami rin sila. They also are holding a separate meeting. Like usually when may Zoom meeting, diba, like, yeah, anyone. But this time,
It's time.
they took their time.
It's time though.
Yeah.
We're taking our time and we're going for the final fight as immediately Paul can be there on the southeast side. The interference matrix is still getting in the way yet again. And the macro king of the PH scene showing us how it's done in the TVT style. The Thors are absolutely shut on down. The Ravens will fall, but there's still the infantry on the southeast side. And now they're gonna go for the push, get some band-aids. We'll be backing on the way, but suddenly there's a flank here for Paul, fended off by the siege tanks. But one retreat, one regroup is all he needs. And Crank has a pittance of the army. The trades, the war of attrition, it's finally getting at the conclusion, and Paul shows us how it's done. Where's the coup de grace though? The killing blow, the final shot here to remember the legacy of Paul. Well, it's coming very, very soon as this force from Crank tries the vicious here, my friend. But we
Yeah,
know
I
this
think
game
he's-
is over.
He's pretty much all in at this
Each
point.
scene, and this is a prime example. Cramp, professional player from before, such a big face in the Korean community. A pittance of minerals and gas of an army compared to the almost 10k that Paul touched there. And GG, well played, Paul with the victory. Well, an angelic presence and such a gracious game. Paul though showing us on how in half an hour flies by, Malupate. Half an hour of a game just quickly going to pass because of how Paul played that masterfully.